Hey guys, my name is Ken and I'm a used car dealer here in North Carolina, and welcome to my very first series of how to flip cars without being a car dealer. I know that many of you may be interested in how to make thousands of dollars flipping cars. I'm going to show you how to do it and be profitable and not have a dealer's license. The very first thing you want to do is make sure that you check the laws in your state. In your state, how many cars can you legally sell without having a dealer's license? Like say for example in North Carolina, you can only sell 6 cars a year before you have to have a dealer's license. Now, I'm not an attorney and I can't give you legal advice, and you want to check with either an attorney or check with your state's dealer association to confirm that. Everything I'm telling you, make sure that you're double checking it, that you're fact checking, and make sure that it's what it is in your state. Budgeting or your capital, meaning how much money do you have to invest in buying these vehicles. And so as an example, let's say you've got $10,000. Well, $10,000 is only going to be able to buy you one $10,000 car, or it can buy you 2 $5,000 cars, or it can buy you one $10,000 car. And so, how do you determine which car to buy, right? And so that's something that you want to think about as well. There are people out there that, think that you can buy cars for $200-300 and sell it for a couple $1,000s. It actually does exist. You could actually do that. So a $500 car is generally a $500 car. It's probably going to have some issues, going to have some problems. And so you really want to think about, do you want to sell a car that's got problems to somebody that may break down on them on their way home? Usually cars that are a few $100s aren't really that great in condition. And you want to consider, well, if you're buying a couple $100 car, how much money you're investing into reconditioning the car, and is it really worth it? Is it really going to be able to turn a profit for you? Okay, so that's some of the things you want to consider. Now, a great price range that I have found to be really great is between the $2,000 to $4,000 to $5,000 range. So that price range allows you to get a little bit better vehicle, and allows for also an opportunity to be able to turn a profit on that. The next thing you want to think about is when you're considering buying these vehicles, you want to look at who's going to be your target audience, who's going to be buying your vehicle, right? So for example, if you're buying a car for, let's say, $10,000 and you're trying to sell it for, let's say, $13,000, who's going to be buying that car? Is it somebody that's going to have the cash for it, or is it somebody that's going to need financing? If they need financing, then that kind of limits your market, because as a non-dealer, you're trying to sell it, and you may have a little bit more trouble with that. Now, if you're in the range of, let's say, $4,000 to $5,000, it's a lot easier for people to be able to just pay cash for that. So that's kind of why I like that range of $2,000 to $5,000. What I always tell people is that you really don't make your money when you sell the vehicle. You actually make it when you buy the vehicle. And what I mean by that is how you buy it, or at what price you buy it, is actually what's going to determine whether it's going to be profitable or not. So as far as pricing goes, what I would recommend is do a little bit of due diligence, or do a little bit of work, and look to see what similar vehicles are being sold for on Auto Trader or Cars.com, places like that, to see what they're being sold for. And then you just kind of look at, if you were to, let's say, say for example, a car is being sold, a car similar to what you have is being sold for $5,000. Then you want to see about pricing your vehicle less than that, maybe like $4,700 or $4,800, so that you'd be able to quickly sell it. So because you don't want to overprice it, because you're probably going to end up sitting on it for a little while if your price is too high. So that's what you want to do, is do a little bit of research, find out what they're selling for, and then when you look at buying it, make sure that you're buying it low enough to where you have that margin for you to be able to make make a profit, along with some reconditioning costs with it. All right, guys, so we're going to talk about where to find this inventory at. And so finding the inventory is probably going to be the biggest challenge that you're going to have. And so there's lots of resources where you can find inventory. Look online at let's say Craigslist. You can even go on Auto Trader to see private sellers selling them. There actually are some dealers that sell them pretty cheap as well, so you may be able to pick up a good deal there. You maybe also go on to Facebook Marketplace. That's a good resource there. Also Facebook groups. Like the buy-sell groups, there's opportunities there as well. Let go or offer up or something like that. So those are all places where you can look for inventory. I would recommend looking for inventory from an individual that's selling it. All right, guys. So now that you've bought a vehicle, what's next, right? And so what I typically do after I buy a vehicle is I recondition the car. I get it checked out, make sure that it's a good vehicle, it's a safe vehicle. Safety is my number one priority. So I want to make sure that it's a safe vehicle, because I'm never going to sell a car to somebody that is not going to be safe, because I don't want them driving and then, they get into an accident. So safety is my number one concern. And it's something that I don't skip out on. If it needs something that that's going to make it a safer vehicle, I take care of it. I make sure that I do the reconditioning, or I do the repairs to make it to where it's a safe vehicle. Now, what you do is totally up to you, and how much you recondition is up to you. If you're buying vehicles that are in the few $1,000 range, I normally don't do a whole lot of cosmetic repair, on that. It doesn't need to look perfect. And most people know that when they're buying a couple, $4,000 or $5,000 car, it's going to have some blemishes. So I don't do any of that. Now if you're buying $15,000, $20,000, $30,000 cars, yeah, you're probably going to want to make sure that those little scratches, little dents, and stuff like that are taken care of. But for the most part, if you're in the under $7,000, $8,000 range, I just make sure that mechanically it's a good vehicle, it's a safe vehicle, and that's what I do. And so once I make sure all that is good, then I'll have the car listed up for sale. So hey guys, so thank you for watching the video. Like I said, we talked a lot about the basics of how to flip cars, and as a side hustle business. Like I said, the most important thing is making sure that what the laws are in your state. You got to make sure that is first. And so you never want to do anything that's illegal that could get you in trouble. And so I've got more videos coming out, guys, that's gonna show you actual hands-on how to do some of this stuff. And so stay tuned, subscribe to my channel, like my videos, guys, and let me know in the comments what kind of videos you want to see. Like what videos you want me to do about, or yeah. And so hit the like button, guys. Thank you.